to John Wilkes Booth.
Dang. There's buttloads of people here.
Damn.
I like that girl way up there.
The ones with the flippin' huge bangs?
How could you tell?
Because they're flippin' huge. I can see them from a mile away.
That looks like a
Posting
beehive.
this on Instagram or something.
Dude, this is like finally Alaska. This is all our first time here, and and we've hung out in nature now for the past 2 days. We've looked around, and I gotta say, not impressed with the Wolverines. Their population is dwindling. Let's see what we can do about that, Alaskans. Probably too much hunting, not enough cousins to feed them.
But their eagles do have large talons.
That is correct. No, seriously, you guys, 20 years we made it. Congratulations. It's been 21 years, but who's counting?
I am. Check me out.
We're gonna bask for the next 3 years. It's still called the 20th anniversary.
Right.
Dude, do we have any OG fans who saw this when it first came out in theaters?
Wow. Amazing.
One bald guy back there.
Hey, easy on the bald guy. Hey, look at those lights. Amazing.
Yeah, I'll go easy on the bald guys.
I know.
That's awesome. We're so happy that a lot of you OG fans are here. But do we have any, second or third generationers who are seeing it for the first time tonight?
First time ever.
I'm expecting no hands.
Oh, wow.
There might be
There's
a couple.
one way up there.
Well, okay, yeah, all right. Or maybe you're like the original generation, but you had better things to do than to see it when it first came out. Now it's like, fine, I'll see what all the fuss is about. We do have a question for some of you first-time viewers, because there's an interesting perspective on this film. 20 years ago when this first came out, I think a lot of you your OG fans might be able to relate to this. Nobody knew what the crud this video was. A lot of you thought, probably in line to see the latest Bruce Willis movie, and well, it's sold out, so let's go see this, documentary or something like that. So I guess we'll just see that. Nobody knew any of the actors. I mean, it was like nobody knew anything about it. So you went in blindly, and typically, thank you, taking that from you.
You're welcome.
So typically what we hear from most people over the last 20 years is like, dude, when I first saw your movie, I didn't get it. It was stupid. I hated it, so I had to give it a second shot. Still, just doesn't make sense. Third time I saw it, best flippin' movie ever. I'm like, okay, cool. Why would you watch a terrible movie 2 more times after the initial viewing? I mean, I'm never watching Twilight ever again. Once was enough. Once was more than enough. I don't know, just off the top of my head.
Wait. I saw Twilight. I'm Team Edward, right? Vampires? Vampires!
I'd have to see it a few more times to know who you're
30
talking
Days of
about.
Nights, right?
No, but a lot of you guys, you stuck it out. You were like, all right, I guess everybody else is talking about it. It was a different time. But now, 20 years later, there's T-shirts and whatever, and everybody, a lot of people know about this. So a lot of you first-timers who are seeing it have a different perspective. But I do have a question. Did anybody see it for the first time tonight that was thinking, and you can be honest, because
we like it.
Don't worry, we're filled with mostly fans here.
Nobody's gonna beat you up.
No, nobody thinks it's okay.
Remember, I do have cousins.
No threatening.
Don't
No
threaten
threatening.
him.
No.
Because if you were thinking, just go watch it 2 more times.
Yep. No problem.
And you'll freaking love this.
And you're probably already quoting it in your head even after one time. That's what happens. It kind of creeps up on you and you start quoting it. lay down in bed at night and you're going, flippin' idiot.
My life was ruined because that's basically how I talked before the movie. So then after the movie, I would say gosh, or give me some of those thoughts, and I'm like, I can't say it anymore. People, it's ruining my life, and everybody's looking at me, and
especially when you're getting your tots at Costco.
Yeah, well,
give me some of the tots.
Or my wife would look down at me, stop quoting your movie. I'm like, honey, don't come. Oh, just like an idiot. Whatever. Okay.
Although we are in Alaska, so maybe he could catch a delicious bass.
Yeah, sure. Or some guys
with his bare hands.
Yeah. I don't think you'll find a lot of bass. Mostly salmon up here, right? Yeah. They're not cold water. It's too cold for bass. You need warm water. Fishing guys, am I getting this right? Yeah. Or fishing ladies? Okay.
I do all my fishing at the grocery store.
Let's get this show started. Let's stop talking about them. We want to talk about a little bit about, before we really get into it, we want to take you back in time to kind of give you a little bit of our perspective of how, what this is. You guys had your own perspective when you first saw it. Can you imagine when we first read the script, we're like, what?
So we're going back to 82 also to get a little highlight reel.
Back in 82. Ugh.
We got a little something to help us take us back in time tonight.
Oh, it's a time machine.
A little time machine. That, it's, I'd say obviously a replica, but it looks like it's actually more expensive than the one we had in the film. But that's okay, because I think it works. We'll just turn the knob to the year 2001, all right? And it'll all make sense. Ooh, we could use a crystal right about now. Does anybody, Alaska's gotta have crystal. Oh my gosh, she's already, whoa! Oh my gosh. That is, wait, let's see that? Ma'am, can you come up here? If you can make it right, I'll make my way down to you, real fast.
Wow, that's a big piece.
I took a bet on Alaska and you guys are just always coming up black. That's good, right? I don't know. Holy cow, look at that in the light. That's an impressive chunk of cellulite.
That's huge!
Man, what's your name?
Monica.
Monica. Okay.
Monica, are you a hippie?
Why do you have a crystal?
It helps my anxiety in large crowds.
So wait a minute. May I ask a question real quickly? If this crystal goes away from you, are you going to get anxious?
Are you okay if we use this?
Yeah.
Okay. If we don't use all the strands, we'll give you whatever's remaining of this crystal. Cool?
Okay, thanks.
All right.
That's very generous of you.
See you, Monica.
Please can we give Monica a big hand? Thank you. Because she's sacrificing one for the team.
All right.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna pop that puppy in right. Oh, look at that.
There it works.
Ooh.
Oh
Hold
my
on,
God,
you think
that's
this is...
amazing. That doesn't happen in Mexico.
It's a different kind of crystal down there.
What are you doing? Why are you turning our show into
I didn't do anything. I just
This
did
is
different
not
kind of
Napoleon
crystal.
Dynamite, not Breaking
Sit
Bad.
down, sit down. All right, you ready? Let's get this puppy started. Ready?
Jess.
Oh, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, look at this. This is amazing. That feels kind of interesting, doesn't it?
Would you stop moaning slowly? All right, we made it.
Are we safe?
Oh, look, we didn't block out all Anchorage's power.
Oh my God.
You guys are, what are you guys doing in the
We were
dark?
cuddling.
Okay. In the year 2001. We're here, by the way, 2001. So
We're all 2001.
I don't know why we have to go back in time to tell the story, but
Why does everybody look the same?
because they traveled back with us. That's how time travel works, you idiot.
Look at me. Do I still look old?
You look like a day over 42.
All right. Okay, year's 2001. I'm a college student. I'm going to, I know, I'm not a high school student, but I'm just out of high school. Going to college, I want to make movies bad. And yeah, I just want to make movies. And I didn't really do much acting, but this guy named Jared Hess, who wrote the film and directed it, but at the time, he was a student with me, and he comes to me. Okay. He comes to me, and he's like, John, read the script. So I read the short little script. It was just a student film at the time, but it was all about this character. And I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't seen this character on screen before. This is great. Why are you giving me this script? He's like, well, I think you kind of look like what this guy could be. I was like, oh, you want me to act this role? Thank you so much. So I was like, okay, so I read the script. I thought it was awesome. And I was like, yes, let's do this. So we went to the local thrift store, and to me, that was the day Napoleon Dynamite was truly born, because he had it in his head how he wanted this character, but then we started kind of saying some of the lines from the script and just kind of how he talked and how he stood. And then at this thrift store, we found some of the clothing that he would wear. We saw some dragon t-shirts and some acid wash jeans. And he was like, what about those moon boots? I'm like, yes. Sweet. Then a few days later, Jared's wife, Jerusha, who co-wrote the film, she calls me up, and she was like, all in on this, and she was like, John, what do you think about getting a perm for this film, for this character? And I was like, probably exactly like the movie. She was like, oh, what's going on? So I had this inner debate in my head that lasted 2 seconds, but I was kind of like, all right, on one hand, I'm a single college student. I'm trying to hook up with chicks. It's not going very well. And getting a perm is definitely not going to help that. On the other hand, never has a film student made such a sacrifice for the arts. You won't see that. You won't even see this level of sacrifice in Hollywood. Yes, sign me up, I'll do it. So I got the 5-hour perm. We shot the short film in 2 days, and it was awesome, and everybody loved this. We finished it, and everybody loved it. But everybody was probably about 10 people, because nobody sees short films. It was just a few student and faculty members, whatever. So then Jared was like, dude, let's make a feature-length version of this, an hour and a half long. I was like, okay. He's like, you doing anything the summer of 2003? I'm like, no. So I was like, sweet. So the waiting game started. He went off and he started writing the script, and I went, continued being a student, and we worked on several other projects together, student projects. And we were on this one production, and it was our buddy who was directing this short little film. And Jared goes up to me, he's like, dude, John, check out that kid. And there's this teenager walking around on set. He was the younger brother of the kid who's the guy, our friend. He's like, so that's the kid I was originally gonna have play your part, because he's kind of the real deal. Watch him closely. So I'm like, okay. So I'm watching him, and there's this kid, and he's just kind of walking around on set, patrolling almost. I think he thought he was his brother's security or something. And he's just walking, and I'll never forget, because he had this Gatorade bottle, one hand on a Gatorade bottle, and it was attached to a lanyard around his neck. So it's always there, ready to go. And he's just got one hand, he's just and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I come up to him, I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And he's looked at me, he's like, pretty good. And I was I froze, and I locked eyes with Jared, and we telepathically told each other, we're putting that in the movie. So, summer of 2003 rolls around, we're ready to shoot this film. Me and the rest of the crew are basically just all film students who knew each other. We worked on the short film, we were in on the joke. I mean, this was my world. I knew this character. I knew it wasn't weird to me. I was like, this is genius. But I was like, Jared, this is awesome. We're super excited to shoot our first movie ever. I was like, who are you gonna get to play these other roles? Like, what do they think? How are you gonna sucker some other actors into this? He's like, well, we're going to Hollywood. I'm like, really? Who? He's like, well, Uncle Rico. You know, you ever seen that movie, Real Genius? I'm like, yes. He's like, remember Laszlo? I'm like, yes, I love Laszlo. John Grice, he's gonna play Uncle Rico. I'm like, yes. Oh, that's excellent. Okay, who else? He's like, well, you know the character Deb? He's like, you ever seen Waterworld? I'm like 50 billion times. I love that movie. He's like, you remember the little girl with the map of dry land on her back? I'm like, yes, Tina Majorino, she's gonna play Deb. I was like, sweet. I was like so excited. I was like, what about Pedro? What about Pedro? He's like, well, you ever seen Kazam starring Shaquille O'Neal? I'm like, Shaq is gonna play Pedro? He's like, wait, what? He's like, no, but there's this other character in the movie played by Efren Ramirez. You know, he's Pedro. I'm like, who? Then he showed me his headshot, a picture of him, and he had the mustache. I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect Pedro. So, no, we love him. I'm like, look.
I'm gonna send him a picture of perfect Pedro.
We were super stoked to like work with these guys from Hollywood and kind of half expecting them to like show up to set like in these double-decker trailers with like an entourage and hand masseuses and diva, demands and stuff like that. But we're like, no, that's not how all of Hollywood works. We knew that they weren't here for the money because there was no money in this film. I was like, well,
Nothing.
but to this day, I never really got a straight answer. What were you thinking when you read this script? I mean, was it bizarre or was it just like well, as you can see, he is not Pedro at all. This guy never shuts up. Pedro's nice and quiet. No, what were you thinking?